Alright, I'm back. Let me see if I can fix the focus a little bit here. I think that looks better. I'm not sure. I'm looking at the preview window and it's so small that I can barely tell. Okay. Let's see here. That's my son's favorite song for the time being. Isaac, you gonna sing your song? It ends tonight? Good job. Isaac, it ends tonight? Good job. Okay. Gonna have the shadow on this side as well. Okay. Follow your reference. Look at where that shadow goes. I'm gonna do it this way. Alright. So we're gonna add the shadows and the tear duct here. And it extends. Like that. And gently dot in the under the waterline. Okay. Take your tortilla, gently blend that in. The shadow's actually going to be really dark. I'm going to do a little bit of, gently add a little line there. Well, it's not that little of a line, but You get my point. Just gently, gently extend it. Take your brush. Go ahead and blend that in. Hi, baby. What? Okay. What are you doing? I'm just gonna add a little bit more charcoal on there. Gently. Okay. Blend that. I think I made that waterline way too dark, so we're gonna have to lift that. So I'm gonna try to lift it with my eraser first. Okay. Pretty good. Go ahead and blend that again. Alright, so I'm gonna work on that right side of his iris. It should be lit up, so start lifting. Okay. Take this. The iris there is a little too light, so I'm gonna gently, just carefully add a little tonal value to it. Okay, that's pretty good. He does have a slight little shine right there, a little sliver. Pay attention to your reference. It's just a little dot right there. So, he has a couple small lines, assuming it's for the blood vessels. So we're going to use the tip of your tortilla and add those little lines gently, very soft. Okay. Yes, two lines, one going this way, one going that way. Okay. Soften your shadow up there. Okay. Take your. What's wrong, baby? What is it? So we're gonna clean up that sliver of highlight right there with your frisket film. Clean up that. Okay. Take the tip of your tortilla. There's a little shadow right on top of that sliver. You're gonna gently add that little shadow on top of that highlight. Okay. That should make the highlight look dark or whiter as well. Let it pop. And it also has a little sliver of shadow right at the bottom of it. Gently do it. Gently. Do not rush. Just gently put it on there. Okay. Just a tiny little line that went through the highlight right there. Okay. And we're going to work on the waterline. Just a sliver of highlight right there under the eyeball. So we're going to put little dots. Okay. Little dots. Do you want something, baby? Okay. And then you're gonna gently darken that a little bit because you don't want it to compete with that sliver of highlight. Okay. I think Isaac wants something, so be right back. Okay. Alright. So we added the waterline. Okay. Gonna add a little more shadow in here. Gently lay down charcoal. Very gently. Okay. Darken the shadows. This side is actually completely black, so extend it a little bit. Take your brush, blend that. Remember, try to keep this area clean because that's where the highlight is. Okay. Do this. Okay. Okay. Dab in where that highlight is, just gentle dabs. Okay. Alright, now let's work on our highlights. So, let me see here. I'm gonna lighten this area a little bit. Okay. Gently dab with your kneaded eraser. I have it flat. Okay, flat. And dab gently. Dab gently. Okay. I'm going to taper it to a point, and we're going to dab at that highlight. Little dab, little circles. Little dots, I mean. Not circles. You want little dots. Okay. Little dots there too, right under there. Little dots there. Not too much. Okay. Okay. Where's my tortillon? There it is. I kind of lost the line to my water line there, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay. Okay. Gonna lighten this a little bit more. kind of got lost there. Okay. Soften my shadows again. My tortillon. Okay. I'll take our Frisco film. It's kind of like a squiggy highlight right there, where it's actually pure white. So we're gonna try to add that in. Okay. Follow your reference. Okay. Now the shadow on this highlight's actually on the top. So I'm gonna add some powdered charcoal on my tortillon and outline that top area. Okay, with the shadow. Okay. There's actually a couple of shadows at the bottom of it. Okay. Gonna line that up. Alright. Take my tortillon, or sorry, my kneaded eraser. Taper it. There's a couple of lines for his eyelashes, I believe. So we're going to put a couple of them. There we go. Take that and add a couple lines. Follow your reference. Okay. He has a couple of darks, like dots, so I'm going to put powdered charcoal. I'm going to dab some dots. Okay. Darken this water line over here. It's actually supposed to be in the shadow, so not too much, not completely in the shadow. You can still see a sliver of it, so darken that a little bit. Okay. Adjust my shadow a little bit. Okay. There's a couple of dots right here by his tear ducts, or actually in his tear ducts. So I'm gonna put a couple dots there. He has about three or four little dots here that are highlighted. So you're gonna add that. Okay. And I'm gonna gently add a couple little dots around it. Okay. I'm gonna take my round brush and dab in the little dots, not the big dots, just the little ones, just to blend it in a little bit more. Okay. put some charcoal on, powdered charcoal on your tortilla, and we're going to add a shadow to those dots, the giant dots, the bigger dots. Okay? Make it pop. It's to the right side of it. Okay? Take this and gently dab at that shadow. Give it a little, soften it up a little bit. Okay? So we have that. Actually, we're going to darken the crease up here a little bit more. It gets thicker. Not crease, the eyelid, the edging of the eyelid. So it actually gets thicker right there in that area. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to blend that gently. Okay. I'm actually going to darken the crease too. Okay. Blend that. Taper your kneaded eraser. Gently dot right there where it gets shadowy. Okay. Just a couple dots here. Okay. It's pretty good. My tummy keeps growling. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. He has a couple of highlighted eyelashes on his top eyelid. So we're going to add that. He has one going across his eyeball right here. So we're going to add that. Okay. He has one over here. A really light one. And I'll add a couple light little ones in between. Okay. Now adjust this one a little bit. Alright, I'm not very happy with that. Let me get my brush. Blend that a little bit. Much better. Okay. Fix this one. It's pretty good. Ooh, my belly. Alright, let's see, he has kind of a dot right there. So I'm gonna add a dot right there. It's a pretty big dot. He has a couple lines going up this way for the shadow. So I'm gonna feather that in. And another dot right there. And a dot right there. So blend that in. This line actually fades upwards. So it's this one. So I'm gonna do that. Add a couple dots. Brush. Blend that a little bit. So this dot right here has a highlight right above it. I'm gonna gently dot in the highlight. Okay. It has a highlight right there, the edge of it. Very light one. So we're gonna blend that one in a little bit. Okay. So it has a couple of highlighted pores. So we're gonna add that in. Not a couple, actually, a few. So I'm gonna add that in. Okay. Dab at it. Tortillin, we're gonna add shadows to some of those pores. Give it some dimension. Okay. Darken my shadow over here. Add a little bit more darker pores. Okay. Blend it in. There's a sliver of highlight right here, right above that crease. So I'm going to use my kneaded eraser. I flattened it. Add a little slight highlight right there. Okay. I'm going to lighten this dot right there. There we go. Get a little texture in the shadows. Okay. I'm just not happy right now with this area here. I'm trying to work on it a little bit more. Okay. Much better. Let's work down here. bigger dots. Take a small highlight right here. Just gonna dot it right there. That's pretty good. Okay. Adjust the shadow right here to lift it up more. Gently add some shadow. So let's work on his eyebrows. Okay. Gently add the darker values. Blend it. Don't mind going through this crease. That's Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse?
Mickey?
That's not Mickey. Mickey's over there. That's Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
Good job.
That's a Minnie Mouse.
That's a Minnie Mouse. Good job. Just adjusting my shadows a little bit. Starting to lose that line right there. There we go. Completely lost this line. Do that. Okay. Some freckles there. There.
Sorry, Minnie Mouse.
What are you doing, baby? Hmm? Darken that eyebrow area as much as you can. I think I lost a couple of my little highlighted pores there. Okay. So now we're going to work on the highlighted eyebrows right there. Okay.
Mommy. Cat.
Keep lifting it until it gets to as wide as you want it to. And move your Frisket film around. This is how I do my highlighted strands. I know a lot of people ask how I do them. This is how I do it. It's not as hard as you think. Very good technique. If you don't have Frisket film, or you can't find it, or you can't afford it because it can be kind of expensive, you can use magic tape, and it has to be magic tape, no other tape, not Scotch tape, not gift wrap tape. It has to say magic tape. That also works fine too, to lift it up. It's not as abrasive on your paper, but investing in a good packet or a roll of Frisket film is a good investment. Completely worth it. But like I said, you can get magic tape. Um, it's just that you have to work with a really small strip. With the Frisket film, I can cut down to what size I want it, and it comes in various sizes. Okay, it's pretty good. Just to give it a little more natural, I'm going to add a couple, actually black hairs in it. Take your round brush, gently dab at the lines you just made, the little black lines, because you don't want to darken your highlights too much. So the strands that need to be really wide, go ahead and touch it up. There we go. Fix his eyebrows here a little bit. Since I'm working on eyebrows, might as well trim them both. Okay. Actually, I'm going to lift this up a little bit more. They're not as bushy as I want them to be. you're going to end up having to touch that up over and over again as we move on to the blacker areas over here, this area. So you're going to get debris on them, and you know, you're going to have to keep adjusting them to your liking. Okay, so Morgan Freeman has 2 eyes now. Great. Okay, so let's finish up his forehead. That way we can be done with the top of his face here. Okay. Take your kneaded eraser. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of dots. Okay, that area. Again, kind of abandoned it. Okay. Extend it all the way down here. The little dots. Okay. So my video's at 38 minutes, so I'm gonna pause it here and continue it. Break it down in sections, okay?